What's up, guys? Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the channel. So Bitcoin is seeing a pullback to the just below 7,500 now. If you guys have been watching this channel for the past few months, we have been looking for a pullback to the $7,500 level since the beginning of August, and we have finally hit that point. Now, it is possible, of course, that Bitcoin could be going lower. The golden retrace is just below us here. So if we go from swing low at 3,100 to swing high just below 14,000, the golden retrace does come in at about 7,200. So again, guys, the $7,200 level is the most common level for Bitcoin to retrace to during large-scale parabolic structure, like large-scale formations for like long-term bull trends. Bitcoin routinely pulls back to the golden retrace, guys. And right now we are pulling back pretty damn close to that point. And this is, again, extremely common for Bitcoin to do. This is really nothing new for Bitcoin to pull back, to have this harsh of a pullback. If we do fall below the $7,200 level, then my opinion becomes a little bit more bearish. Right now, I'm still going to remain bullish on the overall market structure. If we break below 7,200 and we start getting daily candle closes below 7,200, below the 618 golden retrace, that's when I get pretty bearish. That's when I start to get bearish on the market. But for now, I think we can still find support above the golden retrace. This is, guys, pulling back to the 618 off of a high like that is what we've expected here on this channel, and it is extremely common for Bitcoin. Just looking at the previous bull market, this is one of the most common things that Bitcoin does during almost every single parabolic advance. I've explained this on repeat for I don't know how many months now, many months. I've explained this on repeat that Bitcoin generally does pull back to the golden retrace on every single parabolic advance here, just about every time. Right? And right now, Bitcoin, off this low here in the bear market, Bitcoin has now pulled back to the golden retrace or just above it, right? 7,200 is really that last line of defense for Bitcoin. And we're still above that level. So things are still within, in my opinion, actually, we are still within bullish territory, even though we're seeing harsh moves to the downside. Finding support anywhere above 7,200 is good for overall market structure for Bitcoin. Now, we're going to be going over some key moving averages here on this live stream as well. We're going to wait for more people to join. Definitely hit that like button, guys. Definitely hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. What's up, everyone? How's it all going? Kevin, it's happening. Your target is getting hit. Yeah, I know. It's been we've been really patient about this here on this channel, but ever since we saw that next lower high, that third lower high here, right here, guys, this was our indicator that we were very likely creating a descending triangle, and we got that descending triangle to form. And even off this first dump in this second rejection, we were talking about the $7,500 level all the way back in this area right here, and we've just been waiting patiently for this level to show up, finally hitting this level now. And we're looking for some more bullish confirmation here. We're looking for some more bullish confirmation right now. Looking at the 30-minute chart, things are looking quite interesting right now. Just going to go to the 15-minute to see what's happening here in the short term. Getting a decent amount of buying taking place right here, but we'll see. We'll see how this all plays out. Again, I think Bitcoin can still pull back as low as 7,200 before getting super bearish. 7,200 is the golden retrace. That is an exact touch off the golden retrace. Just going to go through some. We're going to go over some of the key moving averages right now, even though we've actually broken below most of them here. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, guys, this is getting critical. I mean, Bitcoin needs to hold this structure. Bitcoin needs to hold above the $7,200 level if we are going to have a routine type of action for the halving, right? Bitcoin generally holds above an upward sloping trend, and that upward sloping trend usually lies on the 618 golden retrace, right? So if we're gonna have a healthy halving here, or halving, People get annoyed by the way I say that. Having. I don't think it really matters. So as long as we hold above the 618 at 7,200, right, and we get a bounce off this level, I would say that Bitcoin is actually is doing very well, and things are looking good for Bitcoin, right? So I'm not going to get super bearish just yet. If we do break below this area, the golden retrace, then in my opinion we'd be looking for 5,400, and this would likely end up being the worst performing halving period of all time for Bitcoin if we can't hold above 7,200 and we start moving down towards the 786. This would end up being the worst performing halving in Bitcoin history. But if we hold above the golden retrace at 7,200, this would be a routine standard movement for Bitcoin, and this would actually end up being nothing new, right? So we got to hold above 7,200, and we got to remain above an upward sloping trend going into May of 2020, guys. This is all very critical for Bitcoin right now. Really critical point for Bitcoin at the moment. So, we're sitting just above the golden retrace right now, sitting at price levels that we've expected here on this channel for many months now, since the beginning of August. So definitely smash that like button, guys, and subscribe to the channel if you like accurate and realistic Bitcoin price predictions. Just going to go through some comments real quick. Yeah, a lot of people were criticizing me pretty much all throughout this because I was saying 7,500, 7,500 over and over again. But this is like the same. It feels similar to this area here when I was calling for 2,500 all throughout this whole range, and people were like criticizing me the whole time, and then we hit 3,100. And the same thing happened here. I was saying 7,500 all the way through this. People were criticizing me, and here we are once again, guys. So I'm not just being bearish just to be bearish. This is just all common stuff for Bitcoin to do. It's just routine. It's routine action for Bitcoin, guys. This is a very volatile market, and things don't just go up forever. But anyway, guys, I have the moving average key here on the right side because there's a lot of moving averages on the chart. Here, let me just move this. So a couple of key things to keep in mind. So we have the 21 EMA in blue. We have the 100 EMA in yellow. We have the 377 EMA in purple. And we have the 50 SMA in red. And we have the 200 SMA in green. Just so you guys know, because it's a little bit confusing with all these. So right now, a lot of people have the death cross in mind. We have the 50 simple looking to cross below the green 200 simple, and this would indicate that Bitcoin is looking for further downside, potentially looking for a more long-term bearish trend. But that is if we cross below. Sometimes you get like a little bit of a fake out where you have like a short-term cross, and it's more of a fake out, right? And Bitcoin could actually end up trending up anyway, even if we do get the death cross. We have to, just because we're getting an immediate, a cross in the immediate term, doesn't mean it's necessarily going to hold, right? Doesn't mean it's necessarily going to hold. It could just be a fake out. So I don't want to put too much weight on that just yet. If you guys were watching this channel, I had a better indicator before when we were looking at this area right here. Of course, you have the golden cross here where the 50 simple crosses above the green 200 simple, and that was your indicator for long-term uptrend. But the more accurate one was the blue 21 EMA and the yellow 100 EMA getting a bullish cross, right? The 21 EMA crossing above the 100 EMA on the daily chart. That was an immediate signal for uptrend right there. And I was looking back at that, realizing that was one of the most accurate bullish indicators. So I put that into play right here. And, we had the blue 21 EMA crossing below the yellow 100 EMA. And that was an extremely accurate short-term bearish indicator, right? So, the 50 crossing the 200 is a little bit lagging sometimes in terms of giving you like a more short-term bullish or bearish signal. So, we'll see. We'll see how this all plays out. Again, if we cross below, really right now, the thing that I have my eye on right now is the golden retrace, is the $7,200 level, the 618 golden retrace. This is the most common level for Bitcoin to retrace to. And we are, just a few $100s away from that right now. So this is really the area that is most critical, in my opinion, for Bitcoin. And we are now below all of the most critical moving averages on the daily chart. So we'll see if we can get some major bullish action here, some major support to come into the market. If we don't, then things could be looking a little bit more bearish for Bitcoin. If we break below the golden retrace, I would say you're looking for closer to 5,400, and that could actually put us into one of the worst performing halving periods of all time. So, for the bulls, I'm really hoping that we hold above 7,200 here, but we'll see how it plays out. We got to hold above 7,200. Otherwise, guys, overall, we've been talking about this for months, and this is actually very, very standard price action for Bitcoin. This is what Bitcoin always does during large-scale parabolic formations, large-scale uptrends. It finds a blow-off top and comes down 40% to the 618 golden retrace, right? This is just extremely routine for Bitcoin, guys, these types of pullbacks. So just keep all that in mind. Overall, though, I mean, in terms of Bitcoin in general, I mean, from the low here, Bitcoin's still up 134%. Pretty great performance this year overall. This is just standard volatility now for Bitcoin. Everything up to this point, again, is standard for Bitcoin. If we break below the golden retrace, that's very bearish. But I'm hoping that the bulls can get some support along this level and we can rally out of here. But we'll see, guys. Let me go through some comments. So this is the 30-minute right here. James at the water cooler says, Kevin, I still owe you lunch. I'm down. Dort says, nobody is expecting it. Big whales put Bitcoin into sleep for 2 years. Just go through comments real quick, guys. I just explained some things for a while. Just going to go through some comments real quick. Guys, let me know in the chat. I'm going to do a quick question for you guys. Do you think that Bitcoin is going to hold above the 618 golden retrace for a long-term uptrend, this level right here? This is the most critical level for Bitcoin historically to hold above during large-scale parabolic formations. Do you guys think that Bitcoin is going to hold above this level here and we're going to rally out and have a healthy halving period? Or do you think we're going to break below this and have one of the most bearish halvings of all time? Let me know in the comment section. If you think we are likely to rally out of here, press 1 in the chat. If you think we're going to the downside, press 2. Let me know in the chat, guys, what you think. Are you bullish on the golden retrace, or are you bearish and think we're going to break below? Let me know in the chat. Someone said Bitcoin is an experiment. Well, guys, every new technology is an experiment at one point, right? Every new technology is an experiment at one point. So experiments turn into real things, eventually. But we'll see, guys. We'll see. A lot of people always talk about, I'm just reading comments here, a lot of people always talk about what everyone is doing. like everyone is bearish, so I'm going to be bullish, or everyone is bullish, so I'm going to be bearish. Guys, usually it's up to the whales. It's not up to the retail investors. Not, you know, unless we're on some crazy hype mania phase. You know, you got to keep an eye on the top players in the market, not what people on crypto Twitter are saying, right? If you go on crypto Twitter, like some of the top crypto Twitter channels, like the Crypto Dog and like Pomp and people like that, like they will never say anything bearish about Bitcoin, like hardly ever. And it's not, you know, you don't want to take trading or investment advice from them generally. They're just kind of entertainers. Of course, Pomp he has a lot of stake in the industry, in the market. He's got a lot of money in the market. So, of course, he's going to stay bullish on Bitcoin all the time, right? So you guys got to be careful with who you're listening to, you know, when you're trading, right? Don't get hyped up by these hype people. You know, we were talking about the $7,500 level right here, guys, right? Our downside target was 7,500 right here. We've been talking about this for months, right? And you don't hear Pop talking about 7,500 back in August, right? Even though he probably knew that was possible, probably going to take place, right? So you got to be careful with who you listen to in this market. Anyway, I asked the chat, do you guys think that Bitcoin is likely to play out scenario 1, click 1, or scenario 2, click 2? Right here we have the 618 golden retrace marked up on the chart. And let's go through here. It looks like most people it's actually pretty split right now. It seems like the chat is pretty split between both of these scenarios. Personally, I still think that you know, Bitcoin is sitting above the golden retrace. I'm going to remain bullish on Bitcoin as long as we're holding above 7,200, which is the golden retrace, the level that we've been talking about for months, guys. Definitely subscribe, hit that like button. We are hitting our downside targets that we've been patiently waiting for months, guys. Also, while we're at it here, you know, guys, go ahead and just create an account on the CryptoWatch platform. This is the platform that I always use. We are sponsored by CryptoWatch, so I got to show this for a second. There's my affiliate link. Definitely just create a free account and check out this platform that I use. It's one of my favorite platforms here, guys. And I have been using it for years. So let's take a look at what crypto is doing in general. So Bitcoin is currently down over 8.5%. In the past month, Bitcoin has dropped 23%. Still up 70% on the year. Ethereum down over 7%. Ripple down over 7%. Everything just moving with Bitcoin, guys. Guys, again, you know, keep this in mind. When everything is moving with Bitcoin, you know, Bitcoin drops, everything drops. Generally, what that means is that most coins are being traded based on speculation, right? There's no value investing going on here, because if there was value investing going on, then everything wouldn't just be going up and down in the same way, right? There wouldn't just be these common waves of enthusiasm where everything goes up at once and then everything goes down at once, right? There's a lack of value here, guys. There's a lack of true usage. So you need to be very careful and very particular with where you're putting your money in this market, because a lot of it is just vaporware and, you know, you can't even really, it's not really being used by anybody, like most of these coins, right? So just keep that in mind. You know, personally, I stick to Bitcoin. I do almost every video I do is Bitcoin. You know, I look at Ethereum. Of course, Ripple, XRP is number 3. I take a look at XRP over there, although I'm not a huge fan of it. You know, they dump supply on the market every month. Not a huge fan of that. I look at Litecoin, of course, Chainlink. We've been talking about Chainlink here for over a year now or more. Chainlink, one of my favorite altcoins, performing extremely well. BNB, because it's one of the top revenue producing, it's one of the only revenue producing altcoins. So I always keep an eye on BNB. They actually make money. And that's about it, guys. That's pretty much about it. It's pretty much all I look at. But mostly just Bitcoin. Yeah, guys, it's pretty split. It seems like half the chat is remaining bullish above the golden retrace. Half the chat is looking or feeling a little bearish. So this is scenario 1. Scenario 2, personally, I'm still holding bullish. We're still holding above the $7,200 level. And as long as we're holding above the 618 golden retrace at 7,200, this is all very standard. This is all very normal activity for Bitcoin. And this is what we've been looking out for a few months. Guys, in order to have a healthy halving period, we need to hold above 7,200 and remain along this upward sloping trend going into May of 2020. We need to hold above an upward sloping trend and bounce off the $7,200 level. Move the camera to the bottom left. Wait, you guys, you want to see the orders going through? I don't know. I just like it on the bottom right, because then I have to have the chart like, I don't know. You can see the whole chart. That's why I keep it over here, because you can see the whole chart, right? I mean, you can't see the orders going through. I mean, I could also do it up here, I guess. But I like to have it here because you can see the whole chart. I could just move it over so you can see the whole chart. So let's take a look at Ethereum. I appreciate all you guys tuning in here. So Ethereum right now is breaking below critical support here. So the area that we're breaking below right now was critical support back in the initial bull run. We found critical support there, and this was also the consolidation range before the breakdown. And right now Ethereum has kind of been bouncing around the consolidation range, and now we're breaking down again. So, you know, Ethereum looking a little bit more bearish here. You could be seeing, as for Ethereum, you could be seeing as low as 140, which is the 786. Next downside target is 140, I believe it is. 140, the 786. That's your next downside target for Ethereum. And the 786 is also coming in at some critical resistance right here. So Ethereum's going to want to hold $140 if we are going to get some more bearish moves. If you break below 140, I think you'd be looking for a larger scale double bottom formation, right? So right now you're looking for 140 as the next downside target. And let's take a look at XRP. A lot of hype around XRP recently and pretty much nothing happening, right? It's interesting how something that has literally like no price movements can have so much hype around it. It's crazy, man. A lot of bag holders here. A lot of people losing money on this thing. I've never liked XRP. Not going to lie. I've never liked XRP. I've never been a fan of the fact that they just dump coins on the market every month. They just release coins. They just gift them to banks. They just give banks XRP and they say, here you go. Try this out. I really dislike it. Trading this thing is great because it just finds support and resistance in the same spot over and over again. It's pretty easy to trade overall, but right now, I mean, it's kind of not looking great for XRP, not looking too great. We're just sitting within very, very, it was really critical actually for XRP. This previous resistance right here is now acting as our new support right here. And if XRP falls below that 22 cent mark, I would actually say that you're looking for, you're looking for closer to 14 cents. If you break below that 22 cent mark, you're going to be looking for 14 cents. So you got to hold above 22 cents if you pull back. But of course, your resistance is always coming in along this downward sloping support. And this is also, guys, keep in mind, this is a descending triangle. This is a very bearish pattern. I mean, classically, when you have lower highs, right, and horizontal lows, this is a descending triangle. It is a bearish pattern. Just keep all that in mind, guys. And of course, you know, XRP relies on Bitcoin too. I'm not a huge fan of XRP. It doesn't perform well. It's a stable coin for banks. And also looking at Litecoin right now. So we're looking at Ethereum, right? We looked at Ethereum and we're talking about how we're just sitting in this consolidation range right here. And we're breaking below that. I mean, looking at Litecoin, similar story, pretty much the same thing. This consolidation range right here, and Litecoin just kind of sitting in there, also breaking below critical supports. Not looking too great for Litecoin either. So Litecoin is actually coming up on the 786 right now. So if you break below the current level, which is the 786 fib extension here, if you break below that, you're actually going to be looking for this resistance point right here, which is coming in between $37 and $40. So if you break below the 786 for Litecoin, you're going to be, this is your next downside target, or just below $40, right? So again, guys, although, you know, everything is still dependent on Bitcoin, right? Everything is always dependent on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin bounces off of the $7,200 level, off of the golden retrace, this could be an incredible buy opportunity for not only Bitcoin, but a lot of the top altcoins could see amazing bounces off this level. If we hold above 7,200 and we get a good support here and we rally, it could be incredible gains. Like, don't get me wrong, incredible gains for a lot of these top altcoins and Bitcoin if we can hold above this 7,200 level. If we can remain above this and hold above an upward sloping trend line, this could be one of the most opportune times to get into crypto in the coming years, potentially, right? But if we break below the $7,200 level and we start getting daily candle closes below that level, you'd be looking at prices like 5,400 at that point, and very likely we would be having the worst performing halving of all time. So, you know, the bulls better hope that we hold above this $7,200 level, because it's still within bullish territory. Above 7,200, we are still within bullish territory until we break below this level. I'm just reiterating myself because this is extremely common for Bitcoin. It's completely routine. This is nothing out of the ordinary, and we've been talking about this since August, right? We've been talking about these levels since this period right here. So definitely smash that like button, guys. We've been talking about this on repeat for a long time. You don't hear Pop talk about these price levels, right? You don't hear the top crypto Twitter channels making good predictions, because it's just crypto Twitter annoys me so much, guys, because they're literally it's just overly bullish. If you say anything bearish about Bitcoin and crypto Twitter, you get completely like scolded. And I've been so angry at crypto Twitter recently, because no matter what happens, everybody's bullish. But we've been talking about these price levels for months. Everyone tells me, Kev, just be a bull all the time and you'll get more subs. And I can't do it. I just can't get myself to do it. Edward, what's up, dude? You guys, check out Edward's channel as well. Edward O'Neill's. He's got a great channel. He's got a great, interesting perspective on the crypto market. He's commenting in the chat here. He's got a wrench. I was watching a stream early this morning. Yeah, sorry. I probably sound like I'm bragging, which I am. Just because, I don't know, I feel like I have to let people know that what I've been talking about for the past few months. Otherwise, people will just think I'm a random like streamer just going live. We've literally been predicting this for months, guys. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And all the top channels are just bullish all the time. It's so backwards and annoying, but whatever. I don't want to complain too much. again, guys, as long as we hold above 7,200, we're still within bullish territory, and things are just extremely routine for Bitcoin. You know, this is, if you're a veteran in the crypto space, this is what you should have been expecting for months, right? When you find a blow off top, you usually pull back close to the golden retrace. Usually, happens all the time, guys. Happens literally all the time in Bitcoin. Like all these parabolic advances in the last bull market, these really harsh swings back to the downside, happens all the time. We just need to find support above 7,200, guys. As long as we do that, we're looking good. We're looking fine, and things are very bullish. Right, so we get a bounce off this level. This could be one of the best buying opportunities for crypto going into the future, and also some of the top alts potentially. If we break below that level, not good. Definitely not good. I mean, another thing to keep in mind, guys, is like this area right here, this consolidation range right here, you know, very critical to hold above that as well. This is a really historic range. If you've been in this market for a while, you know what I'm talking about. This is a really historic range for Bitcoin. You know, we had a lot of volume in this area, a lot of action here. Historically, this was a really popular time for Bitcoin. So, you know, we got to hold above this area, guys. We got to get a bounce out of this area. If we have a shift below that level, like if we can't hold above this critical range, guys, I mean, think about it. We're breaking below historic levels out of a bear market, right? We would be breaking below this historic consolidation range out of a bear market. And that would be like really bad news. Just technically, it's pretty obvious why. It would just be bad news. So Bitcoin needs to hold above the golden retrace generally here, guys. We need to get a bounce here if we're going to be bullish long term. Very critical point for Bitcoin. TY City 87 coming in with a 2 says, thanks for keeping it G, homie. Well, I appreciate you for the donation, man. Much appreciated. Day Trader for Life says, who do you work for? I work for myself, guys. I do have a sponsor on this channel, though. You can click this link and create a free account on the CryptoWatch platform. I guess that's, you could say, well, I mean, I don't know if you could say I work for them, but I am sponsored by them. So you can use that affiliate link, create a free account on the CryptoWatch platform. It's a great platform for literally everything. If you want to manage your portfolio, then you're going to have to, of course, you know, sign up for Basic, but you can do everything on this platform. You can connect yourself to Binance, Bitstamp, Coinbase, Kraken, all the top exchanges, and you can manage your portfolio on all those exchanges, and you can trade from all those exchanges. You can just do anything you need to do from in general. In the crypto market, they have news. They have a lot of features on this platform, guys. Right, when you go to the homepage, it's going to bring you to a page like this. Like if you go to the CryptoWatch homepage, it's going to bring you to a page that looks like this. What I like to use is if you scroll down, there's the news right here. You can go to the top news stories, but click the view asset cards page, and it'll bring you to this classic page that a lot of people like to use. This right here, it's a really nice way to just get an overall look of the crypto market, and it just gives you all the top coins here on one page. And you can just flip through these asset cards right here. You can look at volume. You can look at the performance of 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. And you can do that for all the top coins. It's just a great platform. And, you know, while we're all here, I might as well just talk about it. Like if you click on Bitcoin here, it'll bring you to this page. And it brings you to this exchange list. You just go to whatever exchange you want. Just like click on Coinbase. And here we are back to the chart. And it has everything saved, what I just had on the chart, which is really nice. You could trade right off the chart that you're charting from. I do have a CryptoWatch tutorial if you guys want to check that out. But anyway, guys, let me go through the chat real quick. Again, for those of you who are joining now, the $7,200 level, the golden retrace, is that level that the bulls need to hold above. As long as we're above 7,200, everything is very standard and normal for Bitcoin. And there's, you know, this is nothing new historically. And as I was just saying, guys, if we break below this consolidation range or the golden retrace, you know, out of a bear market, that's just super bearish. But as long as we're above 7,200, we're good. Can you do Elliott Wave with the CryptoWatch? I don't think so. I don't really use Elliott Wave. I've never really found it that useful. Just go through chat real quick. I missed some chat. I mean, I'm not. Someone's saying don't sell out, guys. I'm not selling out. I've been using this platform for literally like 2 years, and then finally, me and CryptoWatch worked something out where they sponsored the channel, and I was like, you know what? If I'm going to be sponsored by anybody, I'm going to be sponsored by CryptoWatch because I actually use it every single day. So it's not like I'm sponsored by something random. I've been using it for years, and finally got sponsored. So it's a good match. It's a great match. What's the key area? 7,200, guys. 7,200 is the key area right now. That's the golden retrace. That's the line I have marked up. And let's go to the weekly here. You know, we could, you know, if we are going to continue bearish, we could see wicks down to the 100 EMA on the weekly, the 50 simple on the weekly, before getting a bounce potentially. So, I mean, you know, we could see as low as 6,800, possibly like a quick wick down there. But I think 7,200 is that level that we're looking for right now if we can't find support where we're at right now. Like, if we got to continue leg down, I would like to see support coming at the 7,200 level. That would be really good. So right now we are holding above 7,400. We'll see if we can get any sort of bullish volume there. But yeah, we were kind of just sitting in this consolidation range. This previous range right here. And we kind of just snapped below that. So we have like 2 days. We have 2 days left on this 3-day candle. If we can get, you know, we could possibly close as low as 7,200, and then get the next 3-day candle to open and range back up. That would be really good action. That would be really healthy action for Bitcoin, right? So, you know, we have 2 days left on this 3-day candle. If this 3-day candle closes lower at 7,200, that's fine. As long as we can open and move back up and get a nice bullish close on the next 3-day candle, I would say that's great. That's great action for Bitcoin, and that's perfectly normal and healthy for Bitcoin, right? And hopefully we can get a recovery from that point. So this 3-day candle close is pretty critical for me. If we close below the $7,200 level on this 3-day candle, that could be a bearish indication that we could see lower prices. If we close at or above the $7,200 level, this 3-day candle, I would say that's good. And we could see a nice reaction back up. And if we can get a nice bullish close on the next 3-day candle, that would be great news. Andreas Romero says, what happened to the 4chan profit? 16K by the end of October. Guys, profits, there's no such thing as a profit. There's no such thing as a profit. it's like it's insane if you're actually trading based off of some profit on the internet. Like, guys, there's millions of people that like look at this market, and anyone can just say anything, and then you like find some post that's been accurate, and like you know what I mean? Like, it just don't rely on profits. Like, that's ridiculous. Zachary says, yeah, if 7,200 doesn't hold on higher time frames, price is absolutely effed for at least another 2 years. Well, it's not effed per se, but if we do break below 7,200, the golden retrace here, and let's say we do range below this consolidation range, which would be very bad news, you know, this would be one of the worst performing halvings of all time, right? During halving periods, you know, generally, like coming up on May or whatever, like this area right here, you know, usually historically we're ranging back up. Bitcoin usually is ranging back up to the all-time high before the halving takes place, or, you know, around the time of it, right? So we're usually coming back up to the all-time high during that period, and that would be around right here, right? So keep that in mind. Bitcoin is normally coming back up around the time of the halving, coming up to, you know, break the all-time high. But if we can't hold the 618 golden retrace, $7,200 level, and we break below this upward sloping trend, and we're like down here, that's one of the worst performing halvings we've ever seen in Bitcoin history. So as long as we're above the golden retrace, things are good. Things are good. As long as we bounce off this level, things are good, and nothing new is taking place. If we break below 7,200, bad, very bad. One of the worst performing halvings we have ever seen in Bitcoin if that happens. So just keep this in mind. And yeah, you know, Wall Street getting involved in Bitcoin, you know, we'll see how it goes. We had futures here, and we have like backed here. You know, of course, guys, Wall Street gets involved at the peaks because they can lock in their profits knowing where the price is going. Yeah, everyone's always excited for futures. And it's like every time people get excited for futures, then we get a dump. Every time. It's like, have you not learned yet? Have you not learned? Joshua Guerrero says, do you trade with leverage? Yeah, sure. I don't go more than 5x, though. 5x is my max. There's no reason to go more than 5x. Unless you're trading with a very small amount of money and you want to, like, gamble. But, yeah. Or if you're, like, very certain about something and you just want to take a huge risk, then go for it. But not recommended. Backed is getting like no volume. I think we had like, I forget how many we had yesterday. It was like 3 Bitcoin traded or something like that. Like 3 Bitcoin. Backed is getting no volume, guys. What a flop. What a flop. Yeah, I mean, guys, from swing low to swing high, as long as we hold above 7,200, that's it. And this is what, guys, we've been talking about this for months. You know I'm repetitive here, and I know I've been repetitive for the past few months, but this is how, guys, this is what analyzing markets is, right? Unless you're doing short-term trades, you know, analyzing a market is very repetitive, and you generally talk about the same things because what more are you going to talk about unless you're doing short-term, you know, swing trades and scalps? Then you have more to talk about on a daily basis, and it's a little bit more entertaining. But, you know, if you're analyzing the macro trend specifically, which is generally what I do here, it tends to get repetitive, but that's what it's all about. So yeah, let's mark up the golden retrace here once again. Got to hold above that, we're good. Break below that, very bearish. That's basically, you know, guys, and sometimes TA doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it's quite simple. Jesus says you removed me from mod. I'll add you back. I did a huge cleanup not too long ago. I removed a lot of people from the mod position. My margin of error. So I've been talking about how, we got to hold above 7,200 to remain bullish on the overall trend going into the halving. Someone's asking what's my margin of error. I guess you could say, we'll just use the moving averages, I guess. On the weekly, you could say the 100 EMA on the weekly could be that margin of error, which would be like 6,900. Like 68 to 6,900 could be that lower level to be holding above. But we got to hold above, generally we just need to hold above this region right here. We just got to hold above this region right here, guys. And this would be perfect. Perfect market structure for a longer term uptrend. Joshua says, do you think the price can go up from here and not test lower levels? How do you play this then? What is your confirmation for an upwards rally to the start? Well, guys, it depends. It depends on how you trade the market, right? A lot of people who are like newer to trading just want to be in the market like at the right perfect time. They just want to get in like immediately at the perfect time, and then they kind of get faked out, and it wrecks their trade. You don't have to get in immediately, guys. Like you can wait for bullish confirmation. Like you can wait for a clear, you can wait for clear support to come into the market, a clear rebound. You can wait for that good bullish volume to come in, and then you have a longer term indication that we're seeing further upside. So you could actually just wait for that bullish volume, that nice reaction back up, that consolidation, and then buy on the upswing here, right? Wait for that real bullish confirmation. You don't have to get in at the exact low. You could just wait for good bullish confirmation and then buying on the rally, right? And then you're in long term, right? If you're doing this long term, then you're in during good structure, right? You're waiting for good confirmation. Right? You don't have to buy the exact bottom. It's not that important, because if you're really trading this market long term, I mean, you're going to be holding your positions for years, right? If you really want to make gains in this market, I mean, many months and years. So it's not necessarily about buying like immediately and getting these quick gains unless you're trading. If you're doing this long term, just wait for that confirmation. It doesn't have to be rushed, guys. I mean, look how things takes a lot of time. Things take time, right? Things take time, right? We're not going to get a weekly candle that just goes like this. Like we're not going to get a weekly candle that just goes like this, right? So you can just wait for that bullish confirmation, that nice reaction, consolidation, and then buy like on the next push to the upside, right? It all depends on how you trade it. It all depends on how you want to trade it. Bigger players want to come into the market when there's a lot of volume. So they'll be buying on the way down, right? As the price is dropping, as there's a lot of sellers, they're accumulating the market, right? So it's all about how you want to trade it. A lot of people say, what's the play? It's like, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know your style. It's just, it's difficult to just say. Because different people have different, Um, it's hard to explain. You know, each trader has their own mindset, so each person kind of has to figure it out. Michael Art says, I see a huge difference this time. Tether is not mass printing at the moment. I haven't really kept track of Tether recently, although I should have. So Michael says they're not mass printing at the moment. Paul J says, when the halving fails to spark interest in crypto, the market is doomed. Well, it's not going to be good, guys. If Bitcoin does break below 7,200 and we have like, you know, the halving would be coming in like at this point here. And if I don't think this is going to happen necessarily. I mean, if we start to break below this level, then it's likely. But this would be, you know, one of the worst performing halvings of all time, and interest in crypto would be super low. But you know what this could be is just a longer term accumulation period before the next upswing. But historically, Bitcoin is usually ranging back to all-time highs for the halving period. So we'll see. Very, very key pivot point for Bitcoin right here, guys. Marcy says, is there any buy-side volume coming in? There's a lot of selling still. Let's go to the 30-minute. 30-minute looking quite bearish still. We still got sellers. We'll see. Because we've been streaming for almost an hour now. Definitely smash that like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Not going to be streaming for... I'll stream for like another 5 minutes probably. I mean, still looking at these orders. The orders are flying through here on Coinbase. Look at the bottom right. So we'll see. We'll see if we'll see what kind of reaction we get off 7,400. What's the alt market cap look like? We can take a look. Hold up. So right now, overall, let's bring this up. Overall market cap right now is just above 200 billion. So Bitcoin dominance 66.1%. So Bitcoin dominance is kind of leveling out now a little bit. Let's see. So it looks like altcoin market cap 64 billion or 69 billion. Let's look at Bitcoin in the last 7 days. Bitcoin dominance is coming down a little bit, but we'll see. This is a 30-minute chart right here. Yeah, I mean, looking at that coin market cap chart, just because look at this, guys. Look at all the coins doing the exact same thing. Look at that. Take a look. Every single coin is doing the same move. What does that mean? That means there's no value, right? That means that everything is just following Bitcoin for the most part, right? Bitcoin is deciding the direction of everything, of literally everything. So basically what that says is most of these coins have no use, no true usage, and no true value because it's all reliant on Bitcoin, right? So you got to be very careful with what you're putting your money into. There's very few projects that have any sort of real usage and value. One of the recent ones is Chainlink, been doing really well. Binance Coin, BNB, has they're actually producing revenue. Most other things are just based on speculation. But just keep that in mind. Everything's moving the same way. That's not really the sign of a true market based on value. It's a sign of a speculative market. So we are still in a market that's based purely on speculation for the most part. Keep all that in mind, guys. Chainlink is doing pretty well. Someone was asking. Let's see. Well, this is not the chart I wanted. But my F killer. Let's go to where is it? Binance USDT. Oh, I was drawing this for my Patreon, but yeah, this was like when I was talking about how, of course, if we broke above the downward sloping resistance for Chainlink, we'd be looking to retest the highs, most likely. But if we, get some rejection off this area, it's possible that we do range back to horizontal support and create a descending triangle, potentially. But it's really up to this 21 EMA, this blue 21 EMA that we're looking at here. Chainlink overall is performing. I mean, Chainlink is on fire. Chainlink is doing super well. Incredible performance recently, but going from 35 cents to $4.50 in one move is a huge move. So, we'll see. We'll see how this all plays out. From swing low to swing high. Chainlink pulled back just above the 786, held above the 786 area, and rallied back up to the 50% or above the 50% there. So we'll see. If we do create downward, if we do continue with lower highs, I would say look for your next support to come in closer to $1.50. Right? If we do pull back, look for your support probably to come in around $1.50, most likely, but we'll see. It's hard to tell right now. It's hard to tell with Chainlink at the moment. So looking at the 30-minute chart, a little bit of support coming in. I'm going to end the stream soon. We've been streaming for over an hour now. Definitely hit that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. We've been looking for these price levels since August, right? If you guys have been watching this channel, if you look back at the featured video on my channel, since this bounce right here, we were talking about 7,500. Actually, even during this blow off top, like even right here, we were talking about getting a pullback to 7,500. So, definitely subscribe if you haven't subscribed for realistic price predictions, guys. We've been calling for these levels for months. So definitely subscribe, definitely smash that like button. And I'm going to end the stream soon. So we're at holding above 7,400 for now. Going to need to see a lot more volume come in here, but we'll see. Guys, again, as long as, just to recap, as long as we're holding above $7,200, which is the golden retrace, that is standard action for Bitcoin. That is routine action for Bitcoin, and that is nothing new in the Bitcoin market while forming large-scale parabolic formations. That is actually nothing new. That is very normal. So as long as we're holding above the 7,200, 620 golden retrace, as long as we hold above this, I'm very bullish on Bitcoin. If we break below that, then things look pretty bleak, right? But as long as we hold above 7,200 or this particular region right here, we rally out. That's very good. That's very normal for Bitcoin. And we would end up looking very similar to all these parabolic advances in the last bull market. Things would look really similar and we'd be good to go, in my opinion. So, you know, these are the prices we've been talking about for a while now, guys, for months. So definitely hit that like button, subscribe. And I'm going to end the stream. So I appreciate all you guys tuning in. You know, guys, I like to keep an eye on the long term. So my analysis tends to be a little bit repetitive, but I try to get it as accurate as possible. I don't really do all that much short-term stuff. I like to keep my eye on the macro trend. And, you know, guys, we identified the macro trend back in August, right? We identified this as a descending triangle on this second bounce to the upside. And we got that descending triangle to play out. And we were looking for downside targets such as the 618 golden retrace and $7,500. And here we are, guys. So we try to keep things realistic here. We don't try to be overly bullish. We don't try to be overly bearish either. We look for accurate price predictions. So definitely subscribe, like, and I'll see you guys in the next video or the next stream, whatever it is that I do. Much love, guys. Peace out.